The heritage city builds on its past in order to draw its future. The archetype of any world heritage city is Venice. The historical city of Venice has a population of less than 60,000 inhabitants, but it's probably one of the most attractive tourist destinations on the planet and carries about 8 million tourists per year. These numbers would already be enough to understand the pressure that the lagoon cities faces almost every day. Most of the value added produced by the tourism economy comes from the exploitation of the city's extraordinary heritage and cultural capital. According to a recent research on cultural activities by the Fondazione di Venezia, Venice is not only biennale. There are about 120 institutions which organize more than 2,000 cultural events per year. From a narrow economic viewpoint, Venice could even be taken as a successful case study for cultural-led local development. But a deeper analysis would probably show how unsustainable this process might be. Some years ago, John Kay suggested in the pages of the Times that today's Venice is much closer to an amusement park than to an art city. Relying on spatial monopoly, the tourism industry behaves as rent seekers and thrives on the continuous flow of visitors without substantially contributing to the preservation of canals, of palaces, of bridges and churches, and so on. So, is the future of Venice to become a huge theme park or an open-air museum? This option might be the end of the Serenissima, which has already to deal with serious problems of depopulation, with the crowding out effect of the tourism industry, and not last with the immense cost of maintenance and preservation of its unique cultural heritage. The value of cultural heritage is not only limited to the tangible dimension of monuments and to the expositive and conservation function of museums. According to the Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage, signed in 2003, the latter notion includes the practices, representations, expression, knowledge, skills, as well as the instruments, objects, artifacts, and cultural spaces associated therewith that community, groups, and in some cases individuals, recognize as part of the cultural heritage. And again, the same UNESCO Convention at the Article number 2 states this intangible cultural heritage transmitted from generation to generation is constantly recreated by communities and groups in response to their environment, their interaction with nature and their history, and provides them with a sense of identity and continuity, thus promoting respect for cultural diversity and human creativity. Heritage cities are at a crossroads. They can decide to rely entirely on cultural tourism and become another kind of shop window, catering for affluent buyers. Or, on the other side, they can choose to partially reinvent this heritage, exploiting its imaginative and symbolic value, and transform it in economic and social capital. In the case of Venice, this would imply, for instance, to convert formal industrial and commercial spaces in new factories of knowledge, keeping strong the link with the creative community, with the student population on the one hand, and opening to a more active participation of its own citizens on the other hand.